The nice thing has been we've had that really big summer feel in the afternoons, and then wake-up temperatures have been nice and refreshing, so you're getting a little bit of fall to sit out on your patio and watch the sunrise with your cup of coffee. But for right now, currents are in the 40s for some of us, so you will notice a little bit more chill. Some of the bus stop waits might be a little bit cooler than we've had the last couple of mornings, but nothing major, which is good news. But a few more clouds in our forecast today, yet again right around 80 degrees. But coming up on the full forecast, what we can expect. That's in about 15 minutes. Right now, we do rest of this weekend. Into the weekend, we are going to have warm weather and dry weather. So just make sure you're prepared. I know the UV index is a lot lower this time of year, but still wise to wear that sunscreen, especially on your face as you're going to be outdoor for long periods of time. But this morning, if you are outdoors, you'll notice it's a lot cooler. We definitely had a little bit of chillier air move in, and without a lot of clouds, it's allowed the temperatures to drop down into the 40s for many of us. But have no fear if warm weather is your favorites. We're going to see that again as we go into this afternoon, getting up right around the low 80s as we get into the middle of the day. Humidity has been pretty good for us. In fact, it's really not going to be until the beginning of next week that we do have that humidity start to creep back up, but that's also going to mean some rain chances finally. So we'll talk about that in a bit. I do want to walk you through the hour-by-hour forecast for today for all of your planning needs. We are going to see plenty of sun this morning, and you'll notice a few more clouds streaming in than yesterday. These are mainly high fair weather clouds. I mean, we're not going to be seeing a lot. Those really, really high ones are the cirrus, those wispy clouds. You'll see some of those out there as well. And then as we go into tonight, some more clouds coming in overnight. So I think our sunrises and sunsets today are going to be stunning. So make sure you take a picture and send it to me. And then as we go into Friday, we'll have nice weather to close out the week as well. But as you know, today is that final game with the Guardians versus the Tigers in Cleveland. In case you are going up for that game, it's a 3:08 afternoon game. Going to be straight 70s and sunshine for that. 1st and 10 as we go to tomorrow, same thing. Going to have a few more clouds out there, but we will be in the 70s to low 80s for most of your evening plans. And then that just continues for us all the way into this weekend. We just warm up from here Friday, Saturday, even into Sunday. We'll be in those mid to low 80s. We stay that way till Monday, but there's the change. We have perfect weather right now. A little bit of summer weather for some playoff baseball, but finally rain back in our forecast. I will have all those details for you coming up this morning.
Forecast on this Thursday.
Happy Friday. We've just got the weekend vibes going, you know. We've got that feel. We got some playoff baseball tonight. We got an OSU home game this weekend. 1st and 10. I mean, does it get better than that? And if you're a golfer, you're going to love my forecast for this weekend. I got the Go for Golf forecast in just a couple seconds. But we have some cooler mornings, though. But, you know, if you like that contrast between a fall start and a summer afternoon, that's exactly what we're going to be seeing again today. So for the bus stop forecast, no umbrellas needed. Maybe a light jacket on the kiddos. But like I was saying, it's time for some good golf. We got to enjoy these times right now before it starts to get really cold and you can't golf anymore. Although last year we were golfing in December, so you know it is possible. But looking pretty good for that, as well as all of your weekend plans. Even this afternoon, a few more clouds will be streaming through, but not enough to really hinder our temperature like we saw yesterday, getting back into the upper 70s to low 80s with even warmer air moving in just in time for the weekend. I'll have the full forecast for you. That'll be coming up in about 15 minutes.
Pennies.
Yeah, right. But you know, let's change seasons and go backwards now. There's your fun fact that you can talk about at the breakfast table today. Now, you were also asking Jay about the peak color, and you can see for most of the state we should hit peak color on track right now as we head into the middle of the month of October. For some of our central spots here around Mohican especially, probably later in the month we'll start to see that change. So definitely something to look forward to. I'd rather look forward to the peak colors changing versus snow. We got a lot of time for snow. We live in Ohio, so we know what's going on. But hope you're having a great morning. Happy Friday Eve. We are almost to the weekend. So many exciting things happening this weekend. And it's going to be warm. It's going to be dry. It's going to be perfect weather. You know, you get those cooler mornings like we have this morning. A lot of places out there in the 40s to 50s. But then we really heat back up into the summer-like weather for the afternoon, which you can see yet again going to be right around 80 degrees. Now, there's more clouds streaming through. That's the big difference from yesterday to today, but that's not going to impact our temperature much. You can see as we go into the rest of the day and tomorrow, we're just going to have some of those high cloud streaming, which right now, if you peek outside, you probably have a really beautiful sunrise because of these colors. Same thing with the sunset tonight. I bet it's going to be stunning and hopefully celebrating a Guardians victory. We have the last game against Detroit. One person's going to advance. The game looks great, though, in Cleveland as far as that weather goes. If that's not enough for good weather with sports, how about 1st and 10? We're going to be in the 80s with warm-ups tomorrow. No rain in the forecast again, holding on to those 70s. And then let's do the trifecta of happiness for weather this weekend for Buckeyes. We're going to be tailgating in the 80s, and then as we go into game time in the 70s. This weather is just sticking around for a few more days, and then next week, we finally have our changes. We need the rain, seriously.